If you've had a toxic breakup and you're thinking of getting back together with your ex, you need to watch this video. This is Shana, just a human in Los Angeles, here to help you pick up the pieces from your breakup. I'm going to assume for the purposes of this video that we're talking about an ex who has like a verified personality disorder, meaning most specifically a borderline personality disorder or a narcissistic personality disorder. Now, if you ask the experts, the psychologists of the world, will this person change? If we're apart for 3 months, for a year, for 2 years, for 5 years, and they'll pretty unequivocally agree the answer is no. A tiger does not change its stripes. They will always do X, Y, or Z. I don't think that is a strong enough explanation, because when I hear that, my mind goes to, well, are you sure? How do you know? You don't know my ex. Maybe my ex is different. Let me see another expert's opinion. Maybe they'll say something different. Maybe they'll say they'll change, and then they'll say the same thing. They're not going to change. And in your mind, you're thinking, but of course they could change, because you want so desperately to believe that that's true. They can change for you. They can change to save this relationship. So what most of the experts are failing to tell you is not that they won't change, because statistically and empirically speaking, they won't. But they're not telling you why. And that is what you need to understand. The experts are correct. Your ex will do X, Y, and Z. They may come back. They may act really loving. They may really seem like they want to fight for you. But they are going to go back to their old patterns. Because while you're busy asking, will they really? I think they've changed. You're simply asking the wrong question. The question isn't, will they change? The question is, can they change? And if they have a personality disorder, they actually can't change. And that is why they won't. Even if they want to change with all of their heart, with all of their soul, they literally can't. It's not about whether they're a good person or a bad person. It's not at all about whether they love you or don't love you. They may very well, with every ounce of their being, want to be a better person for you. They may very well want to make things work out with you. But unfortunately, their brains just don't work that way. Their brains don't function in a typical way. And as a result, they literally cannot change their behaviors. Wherein a typical person's behaviors are regulated by the brain, in somebody with a personality disorder, that regulation is literally missing. So when an expert tells you that they are not going to change, that they are going to go back to the same patterns, they're telling you the truth. But for me personally, I had to understand the why of that truth before it was really able to sink in. Think about your own life. Your whole life, you have created systems and rituals to sort of regulate or steer your behaviors and patterns. Simple things like How do you wake up in the morning? Some people wake up with the sun. Some people wake up with an alarm. Some people have to set their alarm an hour or two early and press snooze over and over and over in order to get out of bed. So let's say you're that snoozy person and I say, just for tomorrow, try just waking up with the sun. When you feel the sun coming out, just wake up. Like, that's not going to work. You've devised an efficient system, a system that helps you to survive and function in this world. And for you, it's pressing snooze a lot. By the way, I'm not a big fan of that because it really takes away from good sleep, but that's a story for another day. So it can be very simple things like that, or just what order do you get ready in the morning? Do you brush your teeth first, then wash your face? Do you put on your right shoe and then your left shoe? What is your ritual? You know, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but little tiny things all the way through the biggest things. How do I react if my boss freaks out on me? What do I do when my child is crying? How do I react if I get into a car accident or I fall and break my ankle or whatnot? All of these patterns in just about any human being are going to be completely predictable, but they're also completely predicated on how your mind functions. So if you're dealing with somebody with a veritable personality disorder, stop wondering if they're going to change for you. They really may want to do it with 100% of their heart. They may really, really love you, but most likely, unless they really commit themselves to therapy and to healing, they can't do it even if they want it. So if you're really considering going back to an ex who has a personality disorder after a toxic breakup, I really think that you just need to ask yourself, not will they change? Again, the answer is no, they cannot change. But the question is, can you live with them the way that they are? And what's more, I'm even going to say, can you thrive with them the way that they are? Because just living with somebody with a personality disorder can leave you as a shell of who you are or once were. Is that a trade-off that you're willing to make? I mean, it's possible you are. Maybe this person makes you feel good enough on the highs, or you just like being in a relationship with them, or there's something about them that just seems to complete you. But be honest. When they complete you, is what they're really doing depleting you? Because you need to be the best of who you are. And if they are not able or willing to change their behaviors, it's time for you to look at that and just ask that honest question. Can I live? Can I thrive with this human being as they are? Your ex with the personality disorder is not going to change. They cannot change. And unfortunately, that's the end of this story.